What's crap? Uh-oh. Am I dead already? Oh, thank God. Wait, what the fuck is going on here? Okay, yeah. Just a couple dudes hanging out at the FIB building. Sure. Me down. I need to get there, so I am gonna break some traffic laws. Oh my God. Panel incoming. Richard Dark breaks traffic laws. Panel. Right, where are we going? Observatory, and I'm going completely the wrong way because I'm an idiot. Listen, I'm gonna what I do. Yep. And you have like thousands of hours in GTA. I know where I'm going. Oh, we have to fucking speed up a little bit. This shit's too slow. Holy shit, this car's fast though, dude. Alright, we're gonna make sure we're not being followed. We'll do a quick. So many sussies. Do a quick little follow check. I don't actually see anybody behind me, I'll be honest. You know, got the back against a record machine. I can go 140 in a straight? Holy shit. Alright, there we go. No follow. Just no crash, please, Richard. It looks like Trey's house. He's an angel now. We're not looking to kill anybody. Oi. We're nearly there. After you with PD equipment, yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong.
Hey, no phone?
No phone.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Moss. Are you okay?
No. Are you okay?
No.
That makes two of us.
Yeah. I wasn't followed. I checked.
Good. This should be private enough, I believe. Right. I usually would like to step away from the car at least 10 meters in case someone is still listening on the phones, even though they're off.
Good.
But you guys stay here. I'll park the car a little bit, and you can start talking.
I can't really walk too far.
No, I got it.
I was just explaining. I have this or have a wheelchair.
I don't know whether this is what you want to hear, and I'm not saying it because I think it is, but I'm sorry for what happened.
You're probably the second person from PD to say that to me. And only probably the second or third person from PD who actually wants to speak to me. Because it seems like they've all made up their minds on what has happened, and people are releasing statements. But crazily enough, no one's really speaking to me about it.
I'll say the majority of the rank and file are not okay with what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's, from the people I've spoken to.
Right.
Okay. First of all, I want to apologize for the delay. I just got out of the high command meeting, and it was a long one. And, obviously there was a lot to talk about, so... but I think really what I just want to do, and I think your point of view is the most important here, so I just want to make sure that that's heard. And really, I have you, who else have you spoken to, if you don't mind me asking, from PD, I mean?
Bison and Tessa.
Okay, yeah, that adds up. All right. I think both of those people are trustworthy, so I don't think you should
Yeah,
have anything to worry
I
about that.
really don't trust anybody at this point except Nick. And I mean Bison because he was there, but given everything that happened to me, I'm having a very very hard time trusting people at the moment.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. So, would you mind telling me what happened?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, and then hopefully I don't have to tell this story anymore. Okay. We went to the aircraft carrier. I'm an EMS. I used to be a police officer. So I was stationed on the aircraft carrier for the war, and we were triaging people on the aircraft carrier. There was lots of bodies coming in. There were helicopters flying over, and jets, and nuclear submarines, and RPGs, and it's pretty terrifying. Uh, we had people come back DOA. At one point, doctors were sent out. This war was taking place, and it was fucking terrible. I'm skipping most of that to get to the meat of what happened to me. Doctors were sent out to fight everyone who was stationed on the aircraft carrier, and all of the PD were also gone. So at this point, there was probably 6 or 8 of us EMS who were left on the hangar, and we took the survivors and some of the bodies that were brought to us, and we flew them to the mainland, and then at that point we were instructed to fly to the island. So we set up a triage point on the hangar in the on the airstrip, which was away from conflict at this point.
Really quick, if you don't mind, I might pause you sometimes for questions. Who informed EMS to move to the island?
I am unsure.
Okay.
I listened directly to my chief, and so at that point, we were literally abandoned on the aircraft carrier, which was previously like being attacked and shit. So it's whoever made the call, it was probably a decent call. but I don't know. So we set up a triage point in the hangar away from the conflict, which at this point I believe had moved towards the villa.
Mhm.
And we were at the airstrip triaging people. PD were shuttling bodies over to us. And we were triaging them, getting our helicopter to land, and then lifting them out back to the mainland to the Simone Memorial Hospital. At one point, we were waiting for the next group of people to come in, and we were RPG'd in our triage point. About 3 feet in front of me, I saw 2 people get RPG'd and hurt very, very badly. I don't know if they made it because I don't know who it was at this point. And we saw somebody approaching the hangar dressed like an EMS. And I said on the radio, "Who is that approaching us?" Because we knew that these other people had been trying to surround our hangar. It was Walter Christmas, the police officer, who then told me, "I am false flagging as EMS. I'm false flagging as EMS." He said this openly on radio to all of us. And he said, "I am false flagging as EMS to draw their fire." He was dressed as a mainland EMS with the blue shirt that we have access to, not our outfit that we were given for the war. He was wearing that and like a white horse mask. He had an RPG on his back and he had a class 2 in his arms. And he said, "I'm false flagging as EMS." Then took down people who were surrounding our triage point. The people who RPG'd us were then brought in for treatment in our triage point, which was so incredibly fucked up that this person just tried to kill us and then we had to save them, but we did our jobs and we did just that. At that point, we were asked to move closer to the villa, and I believe that was coming from PD. So we moved. The PD picked us up in multiple army vehicles, and they moved us to a closer triage point at the top of a hill by a cell tower. And once we did that, we had 2 more DOAs come in, a slew of more bodies. And it is at this point that Brian got on the radio and he said, "I need a volunteer, an EMS, specifically an EMS volunteer to help with something." The EMS were dealing with DOAs, and so I spoke up and I said, "I can assist." And at that point, Commissioner Justice picked me up in an armored tank-like vehicle and drove me to Brian. And at this point, Brian said, "You're just going to be holding a gun on a corner while we do something." And as my experience as a cop, I was like, "Okay, I've done that before. I've done that. I could do that again." And then he walked me over towards the senator. And then the senator changed the story yet again and said, they need food and medical treatment down there. We're going to send you down to do that. And I said, "Okay." And then he changed the story again and said, we're going to send you down with a bomb.
Take your time.
Thank you. So I said, "We're going to send you down with a bomb." And he told me the plan. They gave me a bomb. And they said that they wanted me to go down and kneel next to somebody to pretend to treat them. And I believe Brian's exact words were, "You're going to take this C4 and shove it up their ass. And you're going to put the numbers in the C4 to set it. and you're going to put in 930 30. And I repeated it back to him, and I said 930 30. And he said, yeah, 930 30. That's what you're going to do. And then the senator said, this is going to end the war. You're going to save everybody. Bison walked up and heard this, and he said, what the fuck is going on? Like, what did I just hear? And Brian asked him, he said, who is this? And he said, it's Bison. And Brian pulled out a gun, pulled out a suppressed gun, a class 2. And he turned to Bison and he said, Bison, if you tell anybody about this, I will fucking kill you. And he told Bison to leave. And so, yet again, I was completely alone with just Brian and Senator Davis. And at that point, I didn't really feel like I had a decision in what was about to happen. And they said the plan. They said you're gonna walk in and your hands are gonna be up. And they're not gonna shoot you. They're not gonna shoot you. They promised they weren't gonna shoot. And you're gonna offer medical, and then you're gonna plant the bomb and shove it up their ass, and then you're gonna run out. And so I walked down past officers giggling who had RPGs in their hand. And my hands were up, and they didn't even tell me where to go. They just said, go down the stairs, you'll find it. And I walked down, and I was instantly shot in the head. And I passed out, and the next time I gained consciousness, I was behind the locked gate that all the Sangoons were in. And then I remember hearing like a woman's voice every now and again. I was trampled based on the fact that my fucking ribs are broken, and my chart said I had boot marks all over my back. And then I passed out again, and I only woke up when they tried to eat me. I woke up because the people took a knife to my arms and legs and tried to cut me up to eat me. And
can
remember, they said I was...
Stop. You want?
It's okay. I have to just tell this. They said that I needed to go down there for medical and to give them food. When they gave me the bomb, they made me take everything out of my pockets and my vest that could have been any help to the people down there. I had a ton of burgers. I had a ton of drinks. I had IFAKs, bandages, guns. They made me leave everything behind. They made me leave everything behind, so in no way could I give them any sort of help. They said, you're gonna get down there and you're gonna do the bomb, and then you're gonna plant it and you're gonna run away. But after seeing what was down there, they were all behind a locked gate. So even if they did let me in, they were gonna lock that gate behind them. And I was gonna be trapped in there and I was gonna die. And they knew that, and they didn't tell me that. So they wanted me to go down, they wanted me to be locked inside, plant a bomb, and not be able to get out. And so the last thing I remember is waking up in a hospital with 4 gunshot wounds, missing kidney, part of my intestine missing, broken ribs, and cuts from where they tried to chop me up and eat me. All because they didn't want to do it themselves. They wanted to send an EMS.
You wanna tell him about the thing?
Oh. Yeah. Dark. I woke up in the hospital and the C4 was still inside the plates of my vest.
Yep.
They made me hide it in my vest so I could get it into the bunker. And it was still there. It has been handed over to a member of the PD. I don't have it anymore.
We can have it provided to you if you want. The detonator, we had the detonator removed, so it's not gonna explode. Semtex.
Who did you pass that on to?
Just an officer.
So
I will make sure.
who was it? I'm the reason I'm asking is to see. I'm concerned about where that bomb came from, really. So I want to be able to examine it.
I'm just concerned about that bomb disappearing, Dark, because it's proof that it happened, and I know a lot of people don't believe me.
It's stored safe. Sorry, go on. My bad.
No, it's just people don't believe me, or they think that I'm making it up, or they are trying to explain it away. Like, I've heard stories about Brian denying any of this even happened. But how can you deny it when I woke up with the bomb still on my vest?
It's dark. If it matters, it's stored on police property. We gave it away the same day that Veronica came to. And I can provide you with the locker code so you can fetch it yourself if you want.
I'm just really scared that it's gonna go away.
Yeah.
Did you give it to one of the two officers you've already spoken to? Or?
For their safety, I would rather not confirm nor deny that, but it was given and it's documented.
Okay. You don't have to tell me nothing. I'll find it. Okay. I do have some questions, if that's
Ask
all right.
whatever you need. Yep.
And I want to make sure you know. First of all, I believe you.
Thank you.
And so I want to go into this. When I'm asking you these questions, they're not that some of them might be pointed,
Okay.
or might come across in a negative light, but I'm just trying to, I'm going to ask some of the questions that other people might ask.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get a full picture of things here.
Yep.
So to get some clarification, when the request first went out, it was that Brian said they needed an EMS. They needed an EMS to volunteer for
Yes.
something.
That was said on the main radio. They specifically needed an EMS to volunteer with something. I am the least experienced EMS in the group. So I figured if people are coming in with life-threatening injuries, I can go assist with that, and the rest of everybody can stay at the triage point. As there were officers that were still coming in who were marked for black tag, which usually means dead on arrival or potentially they're gonna, die because of their stuff. So it was getting pretty serious. But it was specifically, I need an EMS to volunteer for something.
Okay. And then you said the commissioner picked you up.
Commissioner picked me up at our triage point in some sort of armored tank-like vehicle that he was driving around in. And he drove me to Brian Knight and Senator David at the villa
Okay.
where everyone was stationed.
Did the commissioner say anything to you on the way?
I don't recall.
Okay. But it was definitely him. You have no doubt that it was the
Yes.
commissioner.
It was the commissioner.
Okay. And he took you
He might
straight
have said
to
something
Brian?
about me being like a hero or something. I can't quite recall, but it was definitely the commissioner. He took me directly
yeah.
to the front gates where Brian and Senator Davis were. And there were two separate instances of Brian telling additional officers to step away from us. There was one outside the gates, and there was the three of us, and somebody walked up and he said to the other person, basically, fuck off. And then we walked inside the gates, and same sort of thing happened with Bison, except he actually threatened Bison's life that time with the gun and the threat.
Okay. So you were brought there. The commissioner dropped you off with Brian. Did the commissioner leave at that point?
I don't know where the commissioner went.
But he wasn't with you during the discussions.
Not during the talks, no.
Okay. So Brian gave you the gun, put you on a corner.
No, he gave no. The corner thing never happened.
Oh, okay, I see. All right.
He told me I was going to be holding a corner with a gun. I never did that. Then the senator told me, we're going to send you down with food and medical supplies because that's what they want. And then he said, but what we're really going to do is send you down with a bomb.
Okay.
And then said this one thing is going to end the war.
This might be a stupid question, but other than Brian asking you to volunteer for something, did the senator or Brian ever ask you whether or not you wanted to do this?
I don't recall. And even if they did, after they pulled out a silenced Class 2 weapon and threatened the life of another officer literally in front of me, I felt like I had zero choice, because if they were willing to threaten an officer like that, they clearly don't give a shit about me.
No, I completely understand.
There
yeah.
there was no saying no to anybody at that point.
No, I understand. It was more for me to. The question is going to be asked if it's more whether or not they just expected it of you. Once you had volunteered for a task, really, and whether they had any humanity to actually ask you if you were okay with doing this or not.
There was no humanity in either one of them. They didn't even tell me where to walk when I went downstairs. And what's worse is when I got down there were 3 dead cops in front of the door that I was meant to go inside of.
Right. Okay.
So they knew, I didn't, what was about to happen. They knew exactly what was about to happen. But they didn't even give me directions of where I was supposed to go. They just said, go down the stairs. You'll see when you get down there.
What did they expect would happen to her as soon as they heard the first beep from the bomb when it was armed? No matter, yeah.
Yeah. Even if I had been able to plant it, I would have died. But I didn't. They knew it was a locked gate. I didn't. There were cops around the corner giggling.
You would
What,
never
like,
have made it to the gate.
no.
You would have been shot down way before that.
All I can hear playing back in my head is 930, 30. That's what you're going to put in onto the bomb. You're going to put in 930, 30.
Okay. Listen, I'll be honest. No person in their right mind would think that you'd be able to survive going in that room with a bomb.
Well, then Brian Knight and Senator Davis are not in their right minds.
I think my point is they knew exactly what they were doing, sending you down there.
Exactly.
And this is the leadership we have.
I don't know if you have spoken to Kiki, chief of EMS, yet, but she let me know that after the fact, Senator Davis told her, okay, we've extracted all of our officers, time to go. Knowing that I was still down there, and they wanted to leave without me. And she had to remind him 4 separate times that I was dying in a bunker because he sent me there.
Okay. I mean, other than the obvious fact that, you know, you had a bomb, did the Senator O'Brien at any point kind of inform you on the dangers of the situation?
I don't think they cared, honestly, to do so. They were more involved in making sure that I had the settings of the bomb correct and that I was shoving it up somebody's ass. And that this is the thing that was going to win the war. And they were sending in someone that they found expendable. I think they cared more about that than literally anything else.
I mean, Nick, with what you told me on the phone earlier about the footage that you had, did you manage to make any leeway on that?
Shit, I totally forgot, but I'll call Ursula right away, and if I get it, I'll text you a link to the video.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
I've heard there's a video out that has footage of me in it, and I haven't had the.
You shouldn't watch that.
I haven't had the energy to watch it yet.
Yeah.
Trust me, V, you should not watch that.
Yeah. It's probably for the best.
I don't think I have any more questions. I think you've given everything you can, and obviously if you do think of any more important details, and
Oh, the
send
311s that were sent after I was shot?
what were those?
Well, I was bleeding out on the floor, so I didn't see them. An officer has screenshots of them, which was from Commissioner Justice, that basically said they have shot her, so now it's time to win this war, and in the name of whoever, like, we're gonna win because they shot down one of our EMS. And like made me a martyr.
Knowingly.
Yeah. used it as like a fun little cheerleading moment. Like, let's get the morale back up, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not really there's no real words to describe what happened to you, really, and I'm sure there's nothing I can say that's gonna make you feel any better. But regardless of what anybody says, what happened was sadistic, heartless, and it was a war crime, and I'm incredibly sorry that you were put in that position. And I'm, you know, if I'm honest, I think it's a miracle that you're alive. I'm very happy
Really?
that you are.
Thank you.
What I'm gonna do is it's gonna be difficult because obviously I haven't been able to record this or anything, but I don't know the best way to do this, to be honest. I'm gonna send you, I don't know how. I've taken notes, and I would like if you were able to at least sign them and say that everything that I've written down here, it is notes, so it's not like a affidavit or anything. But I've tried to take notes as best as I can. I would like to, so you can see them, and then as long as you have, think anything's wrong, would you be able to sign at the bottom and say that this is all accurate and kind of put your name there, or would you rather not have any kind of trace back to this?
No, I got you.
Yeah, but I'm worried about the treason thing.
You know what? Let's not. I think at the end of the day, for the most part, what I'm doing here is internal accountability. You know, when it goes down the road, hopefully, and we're looking at the legal side of things, then we can talk about that when we come to it and get an official statement. But this will do. I heard it from your mouth, so
Yeah, you can still send it over if there's details, and I can try to correct them, I guess. But the rest of it, I'm just nervous about.
no, I understand.
For transparency's sake, we've already left a statement in front of a senior judge as well. That is in case.
But it is very sealed.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you right now, Dark, that I am afraid the Senate is going to find me and kill me. Which is why I am, which is why I am not working. I mean, apart from my injuries, I'm on a leave of absence. I only just got a phone back today. I'm terrified for my life. So.
Yeah, I completely understand. Listen, I'll be transparent. I got no guarantees anything's going to happen to the Senate. That being said, I'm going to try. Whatever that might be. Obviously, I've kind of explained this to Nick. When it comes to actual crimes that happen over there, given it's war, and for some reason the Senate's been able to get rid of the Geneva Convention in this state, I don't think legally there's going to be a lot of options. But we're looking into things, and we're figuring out our options, and I'm going to be talking to the mayor's office. And listen, I think at the end of the day, what's happened to you and what's happened on that island and just the island in general, that whole situation has got to be, we can't let it just happen and carry on. And there's a lot of us, I've spoken to Grayson, for example, and him in the DOJ, and myself and the others in high command. We don't want to stand and support Senator Davis and the rest of the Senate. So I can't promise anything's going to happen tomorrow, but I can promise you that there's people like myself that are going to try.
Good.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Is there ever gonna be a press release, or are you, because like I told you, Dark, time is of the essence. People are getting restless, and it's gonna start. Shit is gonna go down soon.
There should be one coming out very shortly. As far as I was aware, it was being sent to the news outlets as that meeting concluded. So
Okay. Good. Um. Also, um, if you can guarantee that if I tell you where in which locker at the PD the bomb is, are you able to somehow record you receiving it and thus taking over the chain of command? Sorry, chain of custody.
'Cause, yeah, that.
yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, I certainly could. Listen, again, I'll be transparent. We had we had bombs available. We had C4, like the one that
Yes.
you were given, available to us. So it's very likely just one of our own. That being said, you know, I don't know whether it's I need to investigate it, but I might. I I think I've heard a lot of information, and I think I know who was given it, and so I don't want to have to put you guys in a difficult position or anything, and I don't want to put another question
Okay.
mark if that goes missing, basically.
Let me put a stop to that. The officer that we gave it to the day off, when she woke up, and I am pretty
Bison.
much the only one that has touched that bomb since I took it off the vest, and then I handed it over to Sergeant Bison.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Bison has it documented. You're able to ask him about it, and he will confirm. So I think the chain of custody and the timeline here is evident, or is very important in case it is ever questioned.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Bison does want to speak to me, so I assume it's about this and that.
Possibly.
Um. So yeah, I'll if anything happens, I'm just not gonna touch the thing, and I'll probably just leave it all with Bison to kind of, if we do want to look into it or examine it or anything, I'll just leave it to him to do. So then we have less of a question of where it's going to be. And I think out of everybody, Bison's, clearly not going to do anything untoward. So okay.
No, we trust him. We trust him. He took it very seriously when we showed him and talked to him about it. So we trust him. We would, however, want you to redirect any questionings to Tessa. She was also part of that discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told her this whole story.
Yep.
So I just wanted people to hear my side of it before I had to go get my kidney transplant.
Yep. All right. Um, you okay, V? You have anything more to add?
Not okay. Nothing to add.
Okay. Dark, you good?
Yeah. I really appreciate you talking to me, and I'll make sure that your breath isn't wasted. But it is such.
Thank you. Hopefully
Um,
it's the last time I have to tell it.
I hope so too. Uh, Dark, you know my name has a certain reputation, if you will.
Sure.
I just want this to be crystal clear that I don't know if it's the PD or if it's someone else putting cameras in visitation. I hope, for your sake, that it is not the PD, because that would, I'm pretty sure, be illegal. Maybe. I hope. or at least against some ethical guidelines. I have, me and my brother have managed to arrange a ceasefire when it comes to the gangs and the EMS and the doctors. Basically, the gist of it is a lot of people want to kill the EMS and the doctors for participating in the war. And we have somehow managed to convince all of the people that want to kill them not to. And that is why I was involved in this situation. And I don't know why I keep getting roadblocked from joining the DOC, because I assume it is because of my name. Do you have any insight into that?
I have absolutely no idea. I knew that you were trying to join DLC.
Yes,
But
and then I
that,
was told a bullshit reason that they freezed hiring after they just let a person go, and they're being absolutely decimated in jail.
why are you trying to join DLC if you don't mind me asking?
It's very simple. I believe that if I were to become a DOC guard, that I would actually be able to uphold some sort of peace inside the prison. That's my honest truth. I am done seeing bloodshed after seeing what happened to her. I just don't want more people to die. That's it. That's the cold hard truth. And I know some people make me out to be some sort of sicko that wants to kill everybody, but ever since 4 months ago or 5 months ago, when some shit went down with a lot of people, not, I've turned my life around, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'd rather help someone than kill someone.
Right?
So, yeah. If the brainwashed unit, sorry, the MCU, uh, yeah, I spoke to 2 officers. I'm not really impressed with them.
Who was it?
Mm, I think one was Scully,
Right.
and the other one,
Don't say Malcolm.
don't remember.
They have blonde hair.
Yes.
White guy, white shirt.
No. No. Uh. Never mind. Never mind.
Okay.
Uh. Whatever. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm cooked.
All right.
Let me get the car and I'll get you back to your car.
Hold on, Nick. Have you heard
Hmm?
anything about the warden?
The warden? Uh, the warden of the jail?
Yeah.
No, no. I can honestly tell you that the only people that I've heard aggressions about is naturally the police department, and the other people are the EMS and the doctors. But they never heard the DOC or the warden being mentioned.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Uh, something happened because I spoke to him yesterday and asked him about the job interview.
Now there's just some DLC's just, as it's all just a bit mad right now, really.
Uh,
I
I
mean, there was people fired from DLC and shit like that. for helping sanguinians.
Sangoons.
Sangoons.
Oh,
Thank you. My coined term is really good.
is that why Winston Walker was fired?
Yes.
Ah, okay, I see. I had no idea he had any sort of loyalties with the Sangoons.
I imagine his loyalties lie with maybe pride. It's the only thing I can think
Oh,
of.
okay, I see. No, but honestly, I'm telling you the truth. I've heard absolutely nothing about DOC, especially the warden being a target of aggression. The only ones are PD, Senate,
I
EMS,
didn't
and
mention
DOC.
any
Sorry,
aggression.
doctors.
That's me OLC
But
chat.
they promised. Everyone has promised not to touch the EMS and the doctors for the time being. And I'm working really hard to keep that fucking peace because I believe the doctors and the EMS were coerced into joining the fight,
Yeah,
and
I
they
would
shouldn't
agree.
suffer for it.
Yeah, 100%.
All right,
Okay.
I'll go get the car.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can't really
It
walk
isn't.
too far these days.
I can imagine.
Rocks get stuck in the wheels of my IV stand.
I can't believe they let you take that.
I have to be hooked up to it all the time. Really annoying. But I can't process a lot of food right now because of my intestine being like missing and stuff. So I have to.
Okay. You,
Ow.
my Formula One here. Oh, there we go.
Shove the IV stand in first. It's a little
Yeah.
long. Dark, you know how hard it is to find food in this city that
Oh,
is
yeah. Oh.
no, like just soft or soup?
You gotta know of a special place for that.
Literally. There's one place in the city that makes food I can actually eat. And it's on a menu that doesn't exist.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, if I can do anything, just give me a ring, okay?
Absolutely.
you.
I'll
Hey.
call Ursula and get you the raw footage.
Thank you very much. And
Okay.
thank you, Veronica. It means a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.
Fuck, dude. I don't. Did anyone catch the significance of what she said compared to the meeting we just had with High Command? Because there was a pretty big difference. Axel said that he wishes he knew because he wouldn't have done anything. And he would have done it different. But according to Veronica, he seemed aware. Like, he seemed like he knew exactly what she was going in for, calling her a hero and shit. That doesn't fucking add up, does it? Oh, God. And then he 311, yeah. And there's an officer with those 311s. I'm assuming it's Bison, because they haven't really spoken to anybody, so I'm assuming it's Bison. Yeah, pretty concerning, really. She did it against the world. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, I mean, everything kind of added up with what we knew already. Jesus Christ. Everything kind of added up already, but it's obviously good to hear it firsthand. And I mean, the Axel thing is, I'll be honest with Axel, I don't know whether it's just Axel forgetting or whether he's actually just lying out of his teeth. I really don't know. And then, yeah, so we need to talk to Bison, hopefully get those 3-on-1s. Why not both? I mean, yeah. You're not wrong. Man. This shit's been fucking crazy, dude. It's been actually fucking crazy. Honestly, the high command not being on the same page has really thrown a wrench in the fucking works. It really has. Like, this would be so different if high command was just like on the same page, agreeing on everything. But would that be as interesting? You know. Yeah, it's 2 a.m. I want to go to bed. I really do. But I need to go get my phone and get back to Mission Row. That'd be boring. Exactly. I'm glad Chuck realizes. It would be boring. And we probably wouldn't have got the commissioner suspending himself. It was very much like a, you know what? Heck you guys. You can't suspend me. I suspend me. It was a bit like that. And it was very Toretty. Yeah, it was very similar to Toretty thing. PD needs spice, but this is like extra spicy. Yeah, this is like fucking you eat it and then you're sweating 2 minutes later kind of spice. Doc isn't, how do I say this? Doc's done this IA thing before, and he's been a cop for a long time, so he knows never to just trust someone completely. That's the first time he's ever met Veronica. Obviously, Nick Simone, bad. So there is always the possibility that Nick and Veronica have some kind of angle. It's possible Doc, after that conversation, think that's like the most unlikely thing on the planet, but it's always a possibility. But Doc's really not thinking that that's the case. I'll be straight. I don't know what their angle could be. I really don't. You know, Doc doesn't think she's lying. Where's my bike? My bike's gone. Heck. Time to run back to Mission Row. I think the... What the fuck? I heard a voice. I don't... Yeah, I really don't... Like... the only thing that she might feel... That she might be lying about, but not in a malicious way, but... like a guilt kind of way, is if she was... Like, for example... One thing that didn't add up, and I wish I asked about it because I only thought about it now, is when we spoke to Kiki said, because I had the conversation with Kiki and I was like, well, was she, from what I heard, she was told the consequences and that she probably, you know, wasn't going to come out of this. And Kiki was very upset and she said she didn't hear that. So assuming Kiki spoke to Veronica and then Veronica said that she mustn't have heard them, but that did actually add up. She was like, I don't recall hearing anything telling me of the consequences, basically. So honestly, everything does add up. But yeah, that was the only thing that I thought she might be lying about, which is essentially you know, she feels guilty about what happened, and then, you know, basically can't bring herself to admit that she knew what she was doing and was